when you're dealing with somebody that's interested in buying your house, what you want to make sure is they have the money to close on your property. So you don't want somebody coming over to your property, making you an offer, you accept it, you're going into escrow under the impression your house is going to be sold, only to find out they don't have the money to buy it. They have to go find another investor and sell that contract to somebody that has the money. That's the number one thing you're going to want to look for. Proof of funds. Show me the cash that you can purchase my property in the time frame you're stating. You want to look in contracts for what's called contingencies. Contingencies are outs for the buyer. So a couple contingencies would be due diligence. How long are they wanting to put a due diligence on this contract? Do they say, hey, I'm the guy with the money, I'm here, I'm doing my inspection right now, no contingencies? That's what you're gonna want, and that's what We Buy Houses, that's what we do. We come, we do our own inspection, and whatever closing date we put that works for you is when you're gonna get your money. What can possibly be a headache or a delay would be if I come to your property, we make you an offer, we get into escrow, and then the title comes back and you forgot to tell me about your IRS lien, you forgot to tell me about your bail bonds when you were arrested, you were put in jail, or you forgot to tell me about Aunt Myrtle that sold you the house, but you guys never recorded a deed. So any title issues would be a delay. That could possibly keep you from getting your money or push out the closing date until those items were rectified. So another thing that could potentially delay your closing when you're trying to sell your house fast is if you live in an HOA, are you current on that HOA? Getting the payoff for that HOA, and then also how many mortgages did you declare? If you only have a first mortgage, do you also have a second mortgage? We have to pull those payoffs. So if you're in foreclosure and a foreclosure date is imminent, that's what's called a notice of sale. So you've actually received a little blue notice or a blue tape notice to your front door that says, hey, there is an eviction, there is a foreclosure sale and the date is set for next week. So what would happen in that situation is we would come to your house, we would get a contract, go into escrow, get the payoff, and then we would just push the closing for 48 hours. In that situation, there's a way to waive a couple items in order to get that loan paid off and save the potential equity that you have in that property, because what you don't want to happen is if you're sitting on 100,000 equity or 50,000 or 20,000 or 10,000 and that house goes to foreclosure, you're potentially going to lose the equity. So what we would do, get the house sold, your loan's paid off, you get some money. Now that you've got your money, what's that going to do? Relieve the headache. Moving forward, you're able to stay in the property, let's say an additional 30 days. So now you have your money, your headache's relieved, and you're able to move on to your next spot. Okay, so surprises to look for when you're going a conventional route. You chose not to go the quick route. You chose to go the conventional route. So there's gonna be a couple items. A, market speed. What market speed is how fast is my house gonna sell? So what you don't take into consideration is a discount on the price now, but you're getting your money now, versus you're gonna sell your house here or attempt to sell your house here at a future date. That could be 1 month, which would be great. That could be 6 months. And during that 6 months, how much did your mortgage payments cost you? Along with, you could have sold it here for this price, but you listed it at this price. 6 months later, you've decreased. So now you're just a little bit above. However, you had to make 6 months worth of mortgage payments. So you're actually lower than taking that original offer. That's a surprise that technically people don't take into consideration. Another surprise would be payoff amount. We didn't realize our mortgage, we only owed $165. However, we were unpaid interest of $5,000. So we thought we were gonna get $165 when in reality the payoff came back at $170. Another headache to look out for would be condition, repairs. So a buyer comes to your house, just like I came to your house and made you an offer. A buyer comes to their house with their agent. So now you're having to pay real estate agent commissions. But in addition, a buyer comes, they make an offer and they say, we're gonna give you that $300. Oh, wait a minute, during the home inspection, we found out when Travis was here and went over the flooring issue, the roof issue, the foundation issue, the pool issue, now the buyer wants a $20,000 credit at closing. So now we've waited that 6 months. We've made those 6 payments. We've taken a reduced sales price. We get all the way through. Buyer gets their home inspection and they want that $20,000 discount. So these are surprises or headaches that you need to warrant when you're thinking about selling your house this way, or you're thinking about selling on the market at a time that you don't know how long it's gonna take and how much it's gonna sell for. So you've opted to list your house on the MLS. Some key things you're gonna wanna focus on. Clutter. You're gonna wanna declutter that house. People don't wanna walk in and feel this clutter, this closed in effect. They don't necessarily interested in your family pictures, your hutch with all your china. The best thing to do would be to declutter all the way down to a minimal standpoint. Because when people walk in, they want to be able to focus and see their furniture, their setup. Oh, I can see our couch over here. I can see our TV here. But if all your guys' stuff is there, it's gonna really limit the amount of buyers that have potential. Also, you're going to want to go with very neutral. So if you are thinking about painting the house, you're going to want to go with very neutral colors. Neutral colors allow a buyer to come in, see kind of a vanilla shape, and then take their imagination and see what they would want to do with your property. Also, you're going to want to make sure any carpet, stains, minor repairs, holes in wall, all that stuff, very cheap fixes, very easy fixes, and you want to get that stuff done. If you can give an offer a clean property when a buyer walks in, it smells clean, it looks clean, that's gonna get you more offers in a timely fashion. We understand that selling your property is very frustrating, very time consuming, and probably is one of the biggest decisions you're gonna make. So what we wanna do is we wanna alleviate the stress, we wanna alleviate the headache, and make sure it's a simple transaction for both of us. With that being said, what we wanna do is we wanna come to your property, we wanna present you with one of our offers. Very easy, 2-page offer. We go over the items that are beneficial to you. We go over the items that you have the most questions with, but it comes down to a couple items. Number 1, price. Number 2, we're paying all the closing costs. Number 3, how much money you're getting. And number 4, when you're getting your money. And finally, the 5th one, how long do I have to stay? Those are the 5 answers. Those are the 5 questions we're gonna deal with. And that's all you have to worry about. So it's a simple, easy transaction versus a 14-page contract from a realtor, who pays what, having to deal with home inspections, having to deal with closing costs, having to deal with time. When is all this gonna happen? We take all that, we roll it into a 2-page contract, and we answer the 5 simple questions of how much is my house gonna sell for? Who's paying the closing costs? When am I gonna get my money? When are we gonna close? And how long do we get to stay in the property? That's how simple it is for us.